his surfaces in Pakistan. So as the main spinner there, just how difficult is it for you, and what can you do to attain success?
Um, yeah, it's obviously it doesn't turn here as much as one would think it does, but there's at night it goes a little bit more than expected, and then during the day it's a little bit slow. So um, yeah, I've just got to understand. Well, I know my role within the attack at times, and I think in order to get success, it's about building pressure and just limiting the boundary balls in between. If the more dot balls you bowl here, I think that's the sort of formula towards getting wickets, especially with the spin. And then I'm still trying to bowl my best ball and just adapt the fields from time to time to make the batters think differently.
Thanks, Stu, for those.
Hi, Kesh. Yeah, just to kind of follow on from that, do you think that kind of your role will have to be a bit more of a containing one? And does it change the way you've played the game, like in the last couple of maybe years, where I suppose sometimes we've seen the spinners as a bit more attacking? Like, just how do you think you'll fit in?
Yeah, probably more of that sort of holding role that one's accustomed to when seeing spin bowlers in South Africa. But for me, it's just when that role does come about, it's not about changing the way I bowl. It's just about changing the field sets that we have. And I'm still, like I said, I'm still trying to bowl my best ball to create opportunity, but with probably a more defensive type of field. And that maybe not carrying a slip for so long, or maybe having the mid on up from time to time. So yeah, that's basically the sort of mindset. You never know what the conditions may pose, because we've had two very contrasting wickets in terms of how it played, although the scores were very similar. So yeah, it's about adapting and trying to find the right pace from a bowling perspective to get the most purchase out of the wicket.
Thanks for those, Johan.
Morning, Kesh. Have you been catching up, and has there been a few friendly chirps with your Durban Giants teammates from Afghanistan?
Um, no, actually, I haven't seen too many of them, so not as yet. But yeah, only one's here in Noor. I haven't seen him yet. I know he just chills in his room and plays PlayStation. So I'm sure the friendly banter will come about once we see each other.
Thanks, Johan. Telford?
Thanks, Lucy. How's it, Keshav? I know you just said you don't change the way you bowl because of the conditions, but I wonder if, just in purely technical terms, I mean, you came up as a test and first-class spinner, which of course means turning the ball rather than flight and all those other one-day things. And I wonder, because of the conditions, do you concentrate more on overspin rather than side spin, or is it variations of flight and pace, or how do you handle this from a technical point of view?
Yeah, I think it's more changes of pace. You still want to try spin the ball, because the more revolutions in the ball, it does create, the flight and drift the dip and drift on the ball. So for me, it's about trying to play with the overspin and the side spin and see which one gets a little bit more of a reaction. But it's more the paces that you bowl at, so that the batters can't really line you up in terms of using their feet or getting them caught on the crease.
Thanks, Telford, for those.
Kesh, I just want to ask about the pitches in general. I know you mentioned the conditions were quite different at the two different venues, but I suppose besides maybe the ODI World Cup in some venues, we've seen, especially in South Africa, more challenging pitches for batters, and it looks from the outside like these are going to be pretty flat. Do you think that makes for a better tournament, or would you, obviously you're a bowler, but in terms of like the value, the quality of the cricket we're seeing, do you think high-scoring matches or slightly lower scoring matches would make for a better tournament?
Look, I think from an advert from cricket, everyone wants to see runs on the board, and then it tests the skill of the bowler. Look, as a bowler, I'm going to be biased and say, no, we want wickets that only score 250, because it gives us more of a chance. But I think it's a wonderful opportunity to see the class within our bowling lineup stand up and, sort of defend these scores, although they might seem high in the context of cricket. It's actually, probably on par to get 320 these days when batting first and chasing it down. Guys are chasing it down in the 45th, 46th over. So I think it's a brilliant advert. It's a nice test. I think as cricketers, if you're not tested in your chosen skill, then you're probably not going to challenge yourself to get better. So I think it's a wonderful advert to see the high scores, and you know, if when the bowler does come out on the top on the right side of things, it shows his class and worth within the team and the world lineup.
Thanks, Firdous. Kaniso?
Thank you very much. Good morning, guys. Keshav, what's been the what's been the difference between the surfaces that you guys have played on now and the ones that you played on previous occasions?
Was that what's been the surface different to now and then?
Yeah,
Okay,
you,
cool.
you previously played in Pakistan.
Look, I've only played a test cricket here in Pakistan. We did play the first test in Karachi where it spun a little bit, but it was still good batting conditions. So, you know, from that perspective, probably to now it's a little bit less turn, but very similar batting conditions. The boundaries aren't the biggest over here in Pakistan. But yeah, still good wickets. So that's the only contrast. It's a lot less turn from a test match compared to obviously the ODI format.
Thanks, Kaniso. Telford?
Keshav, mostly, you know, South Africa is known as a fast bowling country and that kind of thing, but we've had so many injuries, and I wonder what it's like now. Do you feel extra responsibility as a spin bowling unit, or is it quite nice to be looked at as possibly the key bowlers because of all the injuries?
No, I take the opportunity in it. Obviously, it's a tough one with all our fast bowlers going down, well, some of them at least. But it's another opportunity for me to bowl more overs. I love bowling, so it gives you more chances of getting wickets, and you know, it's nice to carry the load on your shoulders from time to time.
Thanks, Telford. We're going to take the last three questions, starting with Firdous.
Josh, we haven't had an ICC event in Pakistan for however long, and it looks like, you know, they've obviously made a big effort with the revamps and all that kind of thing of the stadium. What's the vibe like, and what have you managed to see of how people are embracing the tournament?
Yeah, I think firstly when you get off a flight and you walk into Pakistan, you're welcomed with open arms. It's probably one of the best places from a hospitality point of view to come and experience it. There's a real buzz and energy around the Champions Trophy because it's huge for Pakistan cricket that this event is a success, and you can see all the effort the guys have been working relentlessly. Even the other night when we were playing the warm-up game at midnight, people were still working on the stadiums to make sure everything's in order. You know, we got to see some of the airplanes fly over us, and that was a real experience for some of us. So yeah, I think it's huge for them. It's been phenomenal so far, and the energy around the whole tournament itself. Obviously, we're limited to the hotel, but the energy within the hotel it's very, very exciting.
Thanks, Firdous. Stu?
Thanks, Lucy. Kesh, we spent a lot of time here discussing how difficult it's going to be for the bowlers. No spin, small boundaries. Your batting teammates, do they just spend the entire day smiling because they know it's going to be great for them, or do they feel there's a burden here on us to kind of get big scores?
No, not at all. I think they're quite happy with the way conditions, but they understand that it's not just somewhere you can rock up and score runs. There's still a process and method, and you know, I think when wickets are in your favor, you train that much more harder because you don't want to, you want to come up and make the most of the opportunity that you're presented with. So the guys have been really working hard. It was nice to get everyone a little bit of a hit the other night and see the guys go through their sort of processes behind getting ready for this major event. But yeah, I don't think there's any sense of complacency from a batting front, even though conditions are deemed to be in the batter's favor. You're going to see a supercharged outfit. I wish you guys were here to watch us train. You can see the intensity and the length of training that the guys are going through just to make sure their skill sets are in place.
Thanks, Stu. Kaniso?
Keshav, a lot has been said about the team form leading into the Champions Trophy, 6 consecutive losses. How much is that your record weighing on me? So I'm shown in the past 2 IC tournaments that whatever happens before tournament doesn't necessarily count once you start going in the tournament.
Yeah, look, it's obviously just a stat. If you look at the teams that were played during the time, it was obviously a rotation-based team policy. So, you know, with this unit that we have here, I don't think we are part as a full squad for any of the prior series, so we don't look too much into that. We know when we come to these major events what's at stake and how we can turn up as a unit. And I think the brilliant part of this squad is a lot of us have been playing together since 2017, 2018. So, you know, that experience we can draw upon from each other is something that propels us through these tournaments.
Thanks, Kaniso. We will squeeze in one last one from Johan.
Thanks, Lucy. Keshav, just want to double check. You meant the two pitches were different. Is that the two pitches in Karachi, or did you mean Lahore and Karachi?
I was only here in Karachi, so the two pitches in Karachi. We had one fresh wicket and one used wicket. Obviously, the fresh wicket was pretty good throughout, and then the used wicket was slightly slow to start and then sort of got better, and when the dew settled was pretty much a road.